You could earthbend? All along?
Well, they didn't cover my face.
I don't understand. Why didn't you free yourself? Why did you surrender when Omashu was invaded? What's the matter with you, Boomy?
Listen to me, Aang. There are options in fighting called Jing. It's a choice of how you direct your energy.
I know. There's positive Jing when you're attacking and negative Jing when you're retreating.
And neutral Jing, when you do nothing.
There are 3 Jings?
Well, technically there are 85, but let's just focus on the third. Neutral Jing is the key to earthbending. It involves listening and waiting for the right moment to strike.
That's why you surrendered, isn't it?
Yes, and it's why I can't leave now.
I guess I need to find someone else to teach me earthbending.
Your teacher will be someone who has mastered neutral Jing. You need to find someone who waits and listens before striking.
Hey, Momo.
Momo's mastered a few Jings himself. Goodbye, Aang. I'll see you when the time is right.
Alright, Shalom. All praise to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation, brothers, hopeful elect, pushing his word of truth and sincerity. Alright, this video here is Exodus Deliverance Through Faith, with a subtitle of Neutral Jing. Okay, so I was thinking about this concept in that they were talking about in Avatar, the Last Bender show, and kind of went into the concept of 3 different Jings. They called it positive Jing, negative Jing, and neutral Jing. So, and they defined it as positive Jing being when you're on the attack, or when you're attacking or striking, or when you're on the offense. Then negative Jing being when you're retreating or on the defense. And then you have what's called neutral Jing, when you do nothing, or you sit and watch and wait. Okay, so I'm focusing on more on the neutral Jing. But first, let's get what a Jing is, this Jing energy. So I pulled up this article here. It says, what is Jing energy? You know, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it goes into a whole different belief system, you know, things like that. But I just kind of want to get some of the most important points out of it. But it says, Jing is a powerful substance that forms the essence of who and what we are. Generally, we know it as the spirit. Okay, the spirit that resides within us. All right. It is the primal energy of our life. Once again, this is the spirit. That's what we know it as. Jing energy is the deep foundational energy reserves of the body, and it is this energy that determines one's ultimate vitality and the quantity and quality of one's lifespan. Jing energy is precious and has long been recognized as a treasure that needs to be nourished, protected, and preserved. Once again, is this not the same thing as our spirit? Our spirit needs to be nourished, protected, and preserved. And how do we do that? By through the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Okay. It kind of goes into some of the beliefs. Like I said, I just want to get that particular portion out of it, because everything else is kind of, you know, just going into the other Chinese belief on the stuff. But that Jing energy is actually something that's important. Like I said, positive Jing is when you're on the offense or when you're striking. Negative Jing is when you're retreating, or as I say, on the defense. Then you have neutral Jing. And so I want to point out this neutral Jing because faith requires neutral Jing. Faith requires to watch, to wait, and do nothing. Okay? And I like to know the scripture. You know the scripture that says faith without works is dead. But I'm focusing more on the faith, as we know about the works, doing the doing the works of the Lord, all that. But I'm focusing on when you have to, when you can't depend on the other level of faith. Okay, when you can't depend on anything here in this society, when you have to fully detach and fully depend on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you have to apply that neutral gene. You have to watch, you have to wait. Like I said, those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength and mount up like wings. Okay, you have to watch and wait, and to watch and to wait requires being neutral. Okay, so I want to get this here. First, I want to get what faith is. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. All right. So, faith is something that we hope for, that we hope to see without actually physically seeing it. Okay? Without having no evidence, because it's the evidence of things not seen. Okay? For example, we have to apply that neutral gene, or this faith, to understand that the chariots, that the deliverance out of this Babylon the Great, this spiritual Egypt, is going to be through the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, that requires a great amount of faith to know that, or to believe that. Okay, because think about it, there's only so far we can go. We can't, and then we get to a point to where once we fully detach and fully depend on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you can't do anything. You have to be neutral. You have to watch. You have to wait. You have to listen before he makes a move for you. Okay, you have to apply that neutral gene. You have to have that faith, and it's gonna be through evidence of things not seen. None of us here can physically say we've seen how the chariots are described in scriptures, or that we've physically seen them do the things that they do. When I say do the things they do, I mean like up close and personal, like we read in the scriptures. But that's where this faith comes into play. All right, this is Romans chapter 8, verse 24. For we are saved by hope. What is our hope in? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Our hope is that he's going to come and deliver us in the method that he said in his word that he would, through his chariots. But hope that is seen is not hope. Okay? So if we seen him do it, we physically seen it, then it's not hope. For what the man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for it? If we already see it, or we've already, it's already been done, why do we have to hope for it? Because it's already there. You see? But so I want to get an example of it. And I'm going to read this whole chapter here. This is Exodus chapter 14. I'm going to start at the top. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses. This was the first Exodus coming out of Egypt. Okay. Speak unto the children of Israel that they turn and encamp before Phiroth, between Migdol and the sea, over against Baal-Zephon, before it shall ye encamp by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land, the wilderness have shut them in. Okay, so he thought that they in the wilderness, they can't go nowhere. Like you said, he had no faith, he had no understanding of the power that was delivering them out of his hand. I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them, and I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his hosts, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people. And they said, why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? He made ready his chariot and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and the captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel, and the children of Israel went out with an high hand. But the Egyptians pursued after them all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them, encamping by the sea beside Pharoth before Baal-zephon. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, when he got closer, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were so afraid, and the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. Okay? So, they were applying that negative jing. They were retreating, okay, out of fear, and they cried out. And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt with us? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? See, this is the point where they needed to apply faith and the neutral jing, okay? Because they literally watched the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua do all those miracles within Egypt, all those plagues, and remember, none of those plagues came nigh them. None of those plagues touched them. Okay? And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? If you brought us out here to die, why you brought us out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone? See that? Saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians. For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. No faith. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, be neutral, and see the salvation of the Lord. So you got to stay, don't fear, stand still, be neutral, and watch the salvation of the Lord. And that's what we're going to have to do, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. All right. So, you see that? That's that neutral dream. Fear not, stand still, and watch. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is going to fight. Okay, we coming in these times to where when we fully detach from this world, the enemy coming in like a flood. Just all kind of manner of evil and wickedness going to be going on in the earth. Is going to be a time that the earth has never seen before. But we have to fear not. And we have to stand still and watch and wait for our deliverance. Okay? And that applies a greater amount of faith that the world does not understand and the world cannot comprehend. Okay? So, that being said, that's what happened here. It says, the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. All right? So, this is just a quick lesson on that. The Exodus and the deliverance through faith was done in coming out of Egypt, and it's going to be done again coming out of spiritual Egypt, Babylon the Great. All right. So call all Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Kakodash. Hope you edified. Shalom.